I think based on today's events that it's very likely in the imminent future, we are about to get news on a HBAR ETF. And in this video, I want to explore why it is I am saying this. Of course, yesterday we did do a video and we played a couple of clips from Brandon the HBAR Bulls channel. Of course, Eric Balanchunas was indeed on there, and he's the individual, along with James Seyfarth, that essentially put forward the idea of Hedera having an ETF before the likes of XRP and Solana. And very interestingly, in that piece they put out, they mentioned Litecoin, HBAR, XRP, Solana. And you will notice, if we dive over to the crypto total market cap, the two coins that are at the top are Litecoin and Hedera. Now, extremely interesting. We covered it earlier, but there's been an even further revelation that we're going to look at. We looked at the fact that Litecoin, or we heard chatter that the Litecoin S1 had gotten comments back from the SEC. This looks to confirm that which bodes well for our prediction, that Litecoin is the most likely to be the next coin approved. All that said, new SEC chair still has to start yet, and that's a huge variable. Of course, this is from James Seyfarth. New Canary Fund, which were the very people Brandon interviewed either yesterday or the day before. We didn't actually look at a clip from him individually. Canary are the very people that have filed for HBAR ETF also. So very interesting, that kind of mix of the three people on Brandon's video. So James Seyfarth says, Canary just filed an amendment to their S1 for their Litecoin ETF filing. No guarantees, but this might be indicative of the SEC's engagement of the filing. Still no 19B4 filing yet. A 19B4 would actually start the potential approval denial clock. And just earlier today, ladies and gentlemen, we have received the 19B4 filing. So Litecoin ETF now has all the boxes checked. The first altcoin ETF of 2025 is about to be on the clock. I don't see any reason why this would be withdrawn, either given SEC gave comments on the S1. Litecoin is seen as a commodity and there's no SEC sheriff in town. NASDAQ files 19B4 to list and trade Canary Litecoin ETF. Things are heating up. And you can see this is the filing. And why this is relevant to Hedera, well, Litecoin's doing very well on the back of this news, but Hedera's right there with it. And if we go back and we look at what Eric Balanchunas had to say, going into this year, we expect a wave of crypto ETFs next year, albeit not all at once. First out is likely BTC plus ETH combo ETFs, then probably Litecoin because it's a fork of Bitcoin equals commodity, then Hedera HBAR, which are also being filed by the same company because it's not labeled as security, and then XRP Solana, which have been labeled securities in pending lawsuits via James Seyfarth. And you can see this was his report on it on Bloomberg. I think this would have been on Bloomberg Terminal. And very interesting, look at what the price of these two are doing. So what Eric has shown, along with James Seyfarth, is they actually get these things right more times than they get wrong. They were certainly right about Litecoin, and that was a bit of a curveball that nobody was, that wasn't on many people's bingo cards. Neither was Hedera in second place. But I think it's very likely to happen. And I think given what the price is doing today, that could be very explainable, or that could be the reason perhaps why. And certainly we also know that there is also chatter, although many of the coins you might think would be in this aren't actually doing too well. Hedera is though. So I think maybe HBAR's fundamental news, it was all technically signaled, remember, we told you this was coming, is likely on the back end of ETF potential news. But this was from the New York Post. While many in crypto community have been cheering on the pro-executive order Trump is expected to issue, one idea is causing more controversy. The idea of an America First strategic reserve that would prioritize digital coins founded in the US, like Solana, USD Coin, and Ripple. Of course, there's a list of those. HBAR is definitely going to be included in my opinion. Some of the coins that are involved in that aren't doing too well. HBAR is. I think it's very coincident that we are, or certainly the kind of senior analysts are expecting Litecoin then Hedera. Litecoin's got that clarification. Hedera is very much likely next, and its price is doing pretty damn well off the back end of it. And talking about price, you guys all know the drill at this point. We like to break the markets down into 4 phases. Markets move in a kind of wave-like fashion. The reason being is because they're fundamentally driven by human beings. And psychology does play into the markets. But what's happened for Hedera is we've actually seen a breakout of a phase one base. When you're in an accumulative phase, you want to see the volume increase on the up legs and decrease on the down legs, and vice versa when you're in a distribution phase. So from a big phase analysis point of view, we've got phase two ahead of us. We said that was very much signaled on the breakout. And actually, since we broke out, we've just been setting up a large consolidation pattern, a technical pattern that we have now broken to the upside of. Yes, you've got the kind of top of this pattern resistance ahead of you, but you will push above and beyond. And we said 50 cents is first, then potentially 73 cents. Then we're looking at that big double bottom target of 94 cents. And then potentially, if this turns into a bull pennant target of $2.25. And I think with everything fundamentally coming this year, we're very much on track to see those price points come to fruition. It's really amazing. Certainly, I truly enjoy days like this. Certainly in the coins that we talk about, get a hell of a lot of messages of people saying just how well they're doing. And that sort of fills me with nothing short of joy. But really, this was just a short and sweet video. It's very interesting what's happening with Litecoin. Yeah, nobody probably cares that much about Litecoin. But the relevance is what the senior analysts have said in regards to how ETFs are going to progress. And I don't think Hedera was on many people's bingo cards in regards to being one of the first, certainly over the likes of XRP and Solana, which do still have, certainly the Solana ETFs were rejected. And the XRP legal saga continues. And we had news on that actually just yesterday. I want to know what you guys think. It is interesting, isn't it, that these two were mentioned being first. We've got news on the Litecoin ETF. We're now likely going to get news on the HBAR ETF. And again, from a price point of view, ladies and gentlemen, Hedera is just a beautiful chart. There's lots of interesting things going on in regards to the new government within the United States and what they're going to do, and lots of speculation coming on the back end of that. I think HBAR's price has everything to do with what's moving Litecoin's price, and that is ETF news and likely pending ETF news that we're going to see for Hedera Hashgraph. Price action wise, the charts look great. And we didn't just show you this bull pennant on HBAR USD. Also, HBAR dominance is definitely broken out like we were expecting. Can you see this? We looked at this just yesterday. HBAR dominance now making a move, and HBAR gaining ground against the rest of the space. HBAR BTC, of course, doing exactly what we were expecting it to. And you've got the likes of HBAR ETH. They've changed the ticker for Ethereum on TradingView, interestingly. But if we look at HBAR ETH, again, look at this. So we looked at 4 charts on the small time frames: HBAR USD, HBAR BTC, HBAR DOM, and HBAR ETH, that all led us to believe this move for HBAR was coming. It's here. I'm sure we're all enjoying it. And I think actually there is definitely the potential for this to have everything to do with people in the know having some sort of foresight already in regards to ETF news. We've had it for Litecoin. The next one on the list is Hedera, HBAR. And once we unlock that kind of institutional realm, the amount of money, we're talking billions, that can flow into what is an asset that only has 14 billion in it. You don't need 14 billion to move Hedera's market cap. In fact, I think to double Hedera in terms of price, it's a percentage of that 14 billion and a small percent. This is certainly interesting, and the prospects of everything are really opening up. So just a short and sweet video. As we said, we just wanted to highlight the significance of what's happening with Litecoin. There are ramifications, of course, with Hedera. It's very much next in the line, according to the people that have been right on it thus far. Its price is moving in sync with Litecoin, interestingly, and actually outperforming the market, which leads me to believe that it's not about the kind of altcoin reserve news, perhaps, because some of those coins aren't doing too well. Some of them are, so there'll be an element of that, I'm sure, but more broadly actually about the ETF news that's pending and likely not too far out. But technically, this was all signaled. That's the important things. That's what we do here at Allincrypto. We're technical investors and not really traders, maybe swing traders, if anything. And we believe that can give us an edge when it comes to the markets, an insight that few have, and ultimately allow us to monopolize them. And I know many of you are doing that at home. So that's it from me, guys. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. It's always a pleasure checking in with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll see you all in the next one.